And it's 6 and 6. So someone asked me, why don't I do a video about Ansible, right? I talk so much about Ansible, and it's also a test objective for DevNet. And also it's a tool, a very valuable tool for those who are looking to be developers or automation engineers or whatever you want to call yourselves, right? So why Ansible? Well, Ansible for me is easy to use. And if you have a case that doesn't need much flexibility, and there's flexibility in Ansible as well, Ansible is probably a quicker option than, let's say, Python, right? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to configure 2 routers using Ansible, using CML. So you guys are going to get a view of Cisco modeling labs. You guys are going to get a view of Ansible, and you guys are going to get a view of how fast my fingers work when I'm under the gun. So let's get to it. CML2. I love this tool. I just started using it last week, and it took me an hour. It took me an hour, including the download, to get this up and running and installed. I love it. But let's get started. Here's my lab. I'm going with a Chuck Norris theme here. So I have my Ubuntu server, which is Chuck Norris, which is also my Ansible server, right? And then I have a router, Roundhouse Kick, and Sidekick. Now I would have put Roundhouse Kick to the throat, but that'd be too violent for a video like this, so I didn't want to do that. So here we go. I want to go ahead and show you my setup, show run, section, router, OSPF, right? So you see OSPF is not configured on Roundhouse, and let me see here. Show run, section, router, OSPF. Look at this, nothing's configured, right? So let me go over, here we are in Ansible, right? So let me see here, no files configured. Away we go. First thing I'm going to configure is my Ansible config file. Now, I'm going to try to explain this to you, but obviously we can do a deep dive later, right? The main configuration file is an etc, right? We are just setting what we like to change for that main config file, right? So I just don't like the timeout value, right? Timeout 5. I don't like waiting, right? So that's the first thing. That's the only thing I'm going to change in this file. Inventory. The device that we're going to be working on, right? I'm going to name this group network, right? And then the 2 devices are going to be Sidekick and Roundhouse Kick. Okay? That's all that's going to go in my inventory file. Next, I'm going to go ahead and set my variables up, right? So group vars and also host vars. All right. Group vars, we just talked about that, right? So the only file that I'm going to put in my group vars is the name of my group, right? And in there, I'm going to designate this as a YAML file, 3 dashes. I'm going to come down, Ansible, username, Cisco, Ansible, password, Cisco. That's all I need to put in that file. Next, I'm going to go to my host file, right? So in here would be 2 files. Sidekick and Sidekick, I just wanted to tell it what host it is. I don't have DNS set up, right? This is a lab, so I'm just going to go ahead and do things statically here. I probably could have saved time by having a whole dynamic setup going. Roundhouse Kick 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go ahead and put Ansible host 1. All right, so away we go. So this is pretty much all I need to do before I tackle the big daddy, right? The big daddy is my playbook, right? So this is what it's all about. This is where the winners win, the non-coders lose. Here we go. So the first thing I want to do, set my 3 dashes, YAML file, right? Host, I'm going to go ahead and reference my network group, right? So again, I could use the ansible.config file, but connection, local I'm just going to specify some things here. Gather facts. False. We do not need to gather facts, right? Task. So the first task I'm going to put into play is configuring Ospf, right? So iOS config is the module. And lines. So I'm going to go ahead and specify my network configuration, 10 dot, right? Slow down, fingers. Area 0, right? We want to put that in. Router. I did it the other way before. So I'm just going to stay with the format that I've been using, Ospf 100. There's another way you can do that, but hey, look at documentation, guys. Name. I want to save my config. Right? So iOS command. Commands. And what's that command I'm looking for? Write mem. Right? Last but not least, I'm preventing you guys from losing your job here. We're going to put validation, right? Every good engineer validates their work, right? So, commands, show, run, sec, router, Ospf, right? That's how we do it in real life, and that's how we're going to do it in this script. Wait for, and let's go over to result, right? Contains, router, spaces are important here, Ospf 100, and there you go. This is the end, and the only thing that can do me in is spaces, right? YAML spaces, remember that. If you're doing a YAML file, spaces can put you in for a long day, right? So let's go ahead and validate this. Ansible Playbook, right? I'm manually going to set my inventory file, right? And that's just my practice, right? And then, spaces. All right, here we go. Configuring Ospf, validation here. Expected to be here. So let me go ahead and. Oh, I just so love to be perfect. Sometimes I'm not, right? So let me see here. Oh, here we go. Defender. There we go. All right, don't make me look like a liar here. Oh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Deprecation warnings, we don't care about those. We just care about winning. Oh, and this is a win. I just configured my Ansible Playbook. I'm sorry, my Ospf on 2 routers. Let me look back and see how I did. Here are my 2 routers. Now, knowing that we just got configured, right? I'm pretty sure that I don't have neighbor JC yet. But hold on, let me go show IP Ospf database. Not yet. But I can sit here and I can talk. This is eating into my time. You know, I thought I was going to be perfect here. Made a couple of mistakes, but you know what? There you go, my neighbor JC. So let me go ahead and show you guys what this is going to look like. Show IP route. Sorry, show IP Ospf database. Right, and as you can see in this database, we have 2 routers. Now, the reason why I'm not going to do show IP route. It's because I don't have any routes, right? I just have 2, right? It's going to show up as local, right? Because it's a local connection, right? So, guys, this is how you configure 2 routers using Ansible. I hope you're impressed.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What did we talk about today? We talked about CML, right? Any developer, I mean, I spoke to someone last week who said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and purchase a lab for my ccna. And I said, why? Why? You know, CML is that replacement. I'm telling you, I'm impressed, and I'm not easily impressed, right? So there you have it. You saw CML in use. Ansible. You saw Ansible in use. Obviously, I would want you guys to know Ansible a lot more than what I just showed you, right? So go to Ansible, docs.ansible.com, and get to studying. I promise you, you don't need a class or anything else like that. You just need motivation to do it. And lastly, your objectives need you for this exam to understand what Ansible does, and I think I properly demonstrated that for you, right? So I'm open to suggestions. So if you guys have anything else you want me to demo, especially on Ansible or any other tool covered on the DevNet, challenge me. Just let me know. All right? Like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we release again.